Good morning, friends and relatives. Mrs. Joanne again. Actually, it's afternoon time now. I was a little late today because our garbage men and ladies were picking up our garbage, and it was making a lot of noise. You know those trucks make a lot of noise? So I just waited for them to stop. I see Pickles is having a good time with us today. Pickles! Pickles! There's Pickles. I found another crazy hat. I have a lot of crazy hats. Take a look at this one. Does anyone know what kind of hat this is or what it is portraying? Do you know? It's a squid. It's a squid hat. Yup. So yesterday, after I talked to you guys about playing with crazy hats, I found a bunch of my crazy hats. And this one's a squid. I like this one, except it's very hot. So, and it's kind of hard to read. So I'm going to show it to you again. And I'm going to take it off. And now I can have crazy hair. Woohoo! Okay, let's get started. Days of the week. 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 Oh, there's Sunday and there's Monday, there's Tuesday and there's Wednesday, there's Thursday and there's Friday, and then there's Saturday. 7 days in a week, 7 days in a week, 7 days in a week, 7 days in a week. Yesterday was Monday, so I do believe today is Tuesday. Yes, it's Tuesday. I want to ask anybody out there if they heard any thunder and lightning this morning. I mean, heard the thunder but saw the lightning. We did have storms around here. So, weather watchers, tell me please, tell me please, tell me what that weather's like, tell me what that weather's like, won't you please? Eyes in the sky, what do you spy? Yes, it is cloudy. It has been raining here. It just stopped. And we had thunder and lightning this morning. So we had storms. So today's book is a brand new book. I haven't read it before to any of my classes. And it's called Ricky the Rock That Couldn't Roll. Ricky the Rock That Couldn't Roll. Now look at the picture. It's a rock, very sad. And this book is written by Jay Miletsky. Okay, so he wrote all of the words, he wrote the story, and illustrated by Erin Wozniak. Erin, she did the pictures. Now, let's just kind of look at a few of these pictures. So maybe you guys could kind of figure out maybe what this book is about. Is it about rocks, you know? Is it about the kind of rocks that we study when we do dinosaurs, like the fossils? Wonder what it's about. Let's look at these pictures. I see rocks. They're round. I see rocks. I think, look, this rock looks like he has a grumpy face. This rock looks happy. Let's see what else. Oh, I see a rock who has a very sad face. Why do you think his face is sad? I don't know. Just looking at these pages. This is a new book. I don't know what it's about. Oh, my. But look at this page. There's a lot of rocks. They're all together. Look at that. What do you think? Do you think they could be friends? I don't know. So let's read this. Let's read this book, and we'll all find out together. Like I said, it's called Ricky the Rock That Couldn't Roll. There's a hint. There's a hint. Why do you think Ricky the Rock might be sad? Let's read the story. Over the lake and out past the bay day was a green grassy hill where the rocks came to play. They would race to the top to take in the view, then roll their way down, the way rocks love to do. These rocks love to roll. There were Kip, Pip, and Chester, and Marvin the boulder. Ignatius played too, though he was much older. And a group called the Pebbles never ever sat still, zigzagging their way up and over the hill. Now let's think about it. When we go out on our nature walks and we go out and we see all the rocks on the ground and we see the big rocks and then we see these little rocks. See the little rocks? And we call them pebbles. So this is what they're calling these rocks in this book is pebbles. Okay? They're little. Kia was a meteorite and not from this planet, and Maya was lava but taken for granted. Now, we talked about meteorites when we did space, and we talked about how they coming down and they come through the atmosphere and land on the ground. And we also talked about lava coming from the volcanoes, the different kinds of volcanoes. We talked about the lava coming up and bubbling up red hot. Stu was the smart one, Parker the clown, and grumpy old Albert rolled round with a frown. I would think that would be him, because he's got a frown. Gabby was sassy, Leslie had flair, Emma was giggly, and Hud had black hair. Now that's silly, a rock with hair. Here's Leslie. There she is. But the one trait that seemed to be shared by them all was that every rock there was shaped like a ball. And because they were round, they could easily roll through the grass, past the lake, up and over the knoll. Knoll is a really good word to know what it means. This is the knoll, like a little hill. That's the knoll. Except for poor Ricky, who quietly sat. You see, Rick couldn't roll because one side was flat. Look at what's on top of Ricky, though. A little ladybug. He's got a flat bottom, and he's sad. Look at all the rest of his rock friends. They're rolling down the hill. His friends didn't get it. Come roll, they would chant. So Ricky tried, but replied, I'm so sorry, I can't. Oh, he's trying. But the rocks were determined. They were sure they could solve Ricky's flat-sided problem and help him revolve. Revolve. That's another word saying going around, revolve. Remember when we talked about the planets revolving around the sun? So Marvin the boulder, with his impressive physique, carried Rick all the way to the hill's grassy peak. Then he pushed him down, yelling, keep rolling, kid! But Rick didn't roll. He just kind of slid. Look at Ricky saying, see, that's a bubble. And that bubble is an idea bubble. A lot of illustrators put that in and they give comments. So it looks like these guys are thinking. It says, this feels like a bad idea. You see them a lot in comic books too. Well, the rocks weren't done, not by a mile. Surely this next try would get Rick to smile. They stuck rubber balls all over Rick, using big globs of glue to get them to stick. They were proud of themselves. This will work, they announced. But Ricky still couldn't roll. Now he just sort of bounced. Oh, I got another idea. They're thinking of solutions. Just like we use our solution kit when we want to try to figure out a problem. They're trying to figure out the problem. They're using solutions. And their solution was stick balls to him with glue. But it didn't work too well. He didn't roll, he just bounced around. Well, they pushed and they pulled, trying every which way to get Rick to roll. By the end of the day, nothing had worked, just like Rick expected, and he ended up feeling depressed and dejected. Dejected is sad. He's depressed. It's no use, Ricky sighed. There just isn't a way. So I'll sit off to the side and watch you all play. Look at him. He's so sad, but his little ladybug friend is still there. But his friends wouldn't quit. No, they were here for you, brother. And we'll get you to roll one way to another. So they pondered and thought and straining his brain till they looked up and saw it was starting to rain. And that's when it hit that smart stone named Stu. Eureka, he shouted. I know just what to do. He explained to them how they wouldn't get Rick to tumble. My plan is pure genius. Stu wasn't too humble. So they carried our hero down the road about a mile to the lake where they gathered up mud they could pile. On the flat side of Rick, creating a mound that they shaped smooth and sculpted it until it was round. Then after the rain, with the sun in the sky, they left him to bake till the mud was all dry. They gathered up vines and one colorful feather that they wrapped all around Rick to keep it together. Look at this one's thinking, does anyone have a towel? There's Ricky. They put it on him, the mud. Now what shape is he now? I think he's kind of round. When the last knot was tied and the work was all done, the only step left was for Rick to have fun. They stood back and watched, feeling nervous and tense, as Rick breathed in deep with increasing suspense. He moved slowly at first, testing out his new mold, and then for the first time, look at him. He's all done up, and look at his feather. He looks excited. You see it? Ricky the Rock rolled. He rolled. Watch out, Ladybug. He's rolling. Oh, I can't get this last page. There we go. So Bria the Ladybug, who'd been there from the start, felt a surge of pure joy swell up in her heart. She thought, as she watched her friends play on the hill, that there's always a way if there's always a will. And she said to herself as Ricky rolled down the slope, when you're surrounded by love, you always have hope. So right now, with things being a little different and we're having to stay home and people having to make sure they stay away from the germs, we're all together and we all love each other. So we have hope that soon we'll be back to school and everybody will be back to work just like we did before. But we just have to wait a little while and we have to love each other and have some good hope, like Ricky. And they've solved their solution. They solved their problem with a good solution. Sorry. That's what we're going to do. We're going to solve this problem with a good solution. So, have a good afternoon, and I'll see you tomorrow. Pickles, say bye, Pickles. Pickle, 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 pickle. There's my Pickles. Milo's around here somewhere. And have a good afternoon.